ice on my wrist, looking kinda cool. Bad bitch with me, she ain't tryna move. Niggas staring at me, what you tryna do? Got me looking at my watch, and it's time to duel.
What is up, everybody? So, as you guys can see, I'm bringing you guys another duel video. Now, reason why I want to make this duel video for you guys, outside of giving you guys awesome content, is because the last duel video did pretty well. So this duel video is going to have the same goal that the last duel video had, which is 100 likes. Let's get this duel video up to 100 likes, and it'll be great because it lets me know that you guys want to see this type of content where I pretty much talk about my games I'm playing, etc. So right here I'm playing at locals. This is actually round one of my locals I went to yesterday, where I played against my homie Brandon, and pretty much he did pretty okay in this game. Actually, it's really solid the deck. I'm saying he did okay as an understatement. It's just I'm playing the deck, which is Heroes, and I'm playing against a deck I'm very familiar with, which is Salamangreat. So I think this will be a pretty good matchup for you guys to watch. And that's not because Salamangreats have a bad hero matchup. It's because it is one of the best meta decks in the game right now. Pre the Gold 10 promotional cards being Nibiru, Dimensional Shifter, and Dark Ruler No More. So yeah, we're getting practice in because of the regionals that's coming up on this Saturday, and I'm pretty sure we're both gonna do well. My hero deck has been freaking fantastic. But yeah, right now we're just setting up the life points and everything, getting ready to start. Like I said, this is a live game from the local tournament we went to. So, if I remember correctly, he won the die roll, and he played as Foxy. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I was sitting there dividing on my time. And tell me what you guys think about this camera angle / my camera I used in this video. I used my old recording camera for this, so the quality might not be as crisp. I literally had to edit the heck out of this to get the video resolution up to par of my previous duel video I did. So if this is good, I'll use my camera again. If not, I'll just go back to using my smartphone to record, because I kind of didn't like this quality. I had to do extra editing I shouldn't have to do. But right now, post-production, it don't look that bad compared to how it originally looked. It was kind of darker in the area. So like I said, he played Foxy. Went into his Balinks. So I searched. I believe I had a Veiler in hand, and I was debating on when I want to use my Veiler. And I either had Veiler and or Ghost over. So I was just holding it, debating. I'm like, let me read this Veiler. I was like, let me read this Balance to see what exactly I'm about to do. Because I know against this deck, the last thing he want to do is let Balance resolve. So I was thinking, like, what do I want to do? Do I want to use my resources on that? I'm like, yeah, I want to get rid of that Balance. Now, the reason why I got rid of Balance is because even though he was going to get his field spell, the last thing I wanted him to do is be able to get an extra double summon. And that's due to the fact that the deck Salamangreat revolves around their extra summons. Like, once they start double summoning and all that stuff, that's how you get the combos off. I didn't want him to get any crazy Jaguar plays and all that. And he's still gonna do pretty good, you know. I just wanted to limit his resources because like I said, playing this deck, played the deck when it first came out. I know how the deck plays, and if you lose your Balinks and etc., there's a lot of things you cannot do. Plus, when I saw that he had the Foxy, I'm like, yeah, his hand ain't that great. So he went ahead and played the continuous spell in the deck. Salamangreat pretty much Monster Reborn, which is arguably one of the best cards in the deck. Bring back his Foxy and pass, because his hand was pretty crap. He told me, like, pretty crap. I'm pretty sure that Ghost overhurt him. And then I'm playing Fusion Destiny. Now, he did not know what Fusion Destiny did. He told me this is the first time he played against the new hero stuff. Like, he knew how good it was. He knew what the deck was. He just haven't played against it at local. So I played Fusion Destiny, and I have a pretty solid hand. Like, my hand is legit. So I want to go ahead and send my Destiny here Malicious, and I'm going to go ahead and send my Dynatag. Dynatag, of course, because he could pop back row, but Malicious because you can do the combos off. And also, I do apologize for the reflection in this video. Like, with this camera weird angle I had and the reflection, I'm like, post-production is kind of my camera angles is just irking me. So I bring out Dystopia to use the effect. Brandon's reading to see how he's going to play out. If I remember correctly, he did have a response in his hand. and he's just waiting on to do what he's gonna do. And I was like, okay, I'm thinking to myself, I can pop his Foxy and just go for game. We'll go ahead and play my Stratos now. Now I'm just waiting on Brandon's response. I figured he got something, but no, he didn't have a response just yet, or if he did, it was holding. I can't remember. We did play a full match because this was a local event. We went to game 3. I won't spoil what actually happened in game 3, but we went to game 3, and it was pretty awesome, pretty sick indeed. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab Forest, and you guys already know once you grab Forest, you're in a pretty good position because at this point I can just special summon Forest and can start continuing my plays. He let it resolve because he didn't have a response to Forest. And now I'm just sitting there like, yep, you guys already know the good old Forest, Stratos combos. So I'm just go ahead and letting it do what it do pretty much. Fusion Destiny is so broken. Like I love. Can we just talk about Fusion Destiny for a minute? I love Fusion Destiny and Forest for what they've done for the hero deck. I did not give that deck as much credit as it deserved. And for you guys that try to argue me one video that said, but Chris, you can't bring out any hero monster, dark hero monsters. Yeah, you can't special summon hero monsters, but you can still play your Stratos after you go ahead and play your Fusion Destiny. It makes no sense because Fusion Destiny states you can't special summon. So just wanted to clear that up because a lot of people said that in one of my videos that when I normal summoned my my Earth hero, I couldn't do that because of Fusion Destiny. I'm like, yeah, I could. I just couldn't special summon him. So when he went ahead and Ash Blossom my increase, and he also had a response. I think he had a Veiler as well. So he was saving his Veiler and his Blossom. He had double hand trap, which was pretty good. I'm just sitting here like, okay, that's fine. Do what you need to do, sir. Then we go ahead, but the thing is, like, since he didn't play against this matchup before, he didn't really know what to do. So I just went ahead and made Cross Crusader. So he's legit reading like every card because he probably should have stopped my Forest, and no, he should have stopped my Stratos for one. That was one thing he should have stopped. But like I said, hindsight is 2020. So I'm just sitting here letting my Cross Crusader do his job. And I was debating on bringing back Mally, but I'm like, yeah, I just banish Mally and start getting this effect off while he read Cross Crusader and everything. So I use Cross Crusader's effect, bring back Dystopia. You can use tribute up off Mally to add an Honesty Neos. And it's just like, yeah, buddy, we are in a good position. And I'm thinking like, what should I do right now? I'm gonna use his Dynatag's effect to pump up my Dystopia's effect to pop his monster. And I believe that was all she wrote, but he did have the Ghost over to from Dystopia, which sucked. But at that point, it really don't matter because I believe I had game on board. I had too much damage to deal at that point. The 18 with Stratos. Oh, actually, did have a response. I had Mass Change. Okay, I must have changed Mass Change to his Ghost over, which is pretty sweet. And yeah, that was just like, and that's overkill right there, bro. 8, 16, 12, 18, and 2400 from Dark Law with the damage calc Honesty Neos, which is always a pretty good thing to do on your opponent if they always try to hit you with some silly stuff. So game 1 was pretty much like I said, pretty swift game. I had complete control, plus his hand was kind of bad. And Ghost Ogre and his Baylings really put him in a bad position. Also, if I seem a little sleepy right now, I am hungover, guys. I do apologize. Like, my brother is getting married, and he had a not bachelor party, but my brother's getting married in 2 years, so he had a celebration at his him and his girlfriend had a celebration. So we went to the party, me, my son, and my girl, and your boy had like 4 shots of Hennessy, some peach, what was that? I can't think of the other stuff right now. My head's just spinning. Long story short, your boy drank a little too much, and that got me moping around all day. But videos got to get done, videos got to get edited. There is no excuse. I'm sticking to my schedule, Sunday, Mondays, Tuesdays. But I was legit so close not to want to record. So I'm not 100%. Of my energy seems super low, more low than normal, but that's the reason why, if you guys were wondering. So going into game 2 and 3, well, going into game 2 rather, I didn't really know what to side deck for Salamangreat. I was just sitting here debating, like, what do I really side for that deck? I don't really have much. My deck kind of like legit outs that deck 100%. Like I was main decking the what's the Salamangreat Fusion. So you know what, I did have a side. I sided in Super Polys, which once you guys see tomorrow's vlog, you're gonna see it's a big part of my new version of my hero deck. But that's just a little spoiler for you guys that are watching my duel video. So I'm siding in Super Polys. I'm just debating on what I should take out, because legit that's the only thing I can side in for Salamangreat at this point, because my deck's already, in my opinion, overkill for the deck. Like I've played the matchup Salamangreat versus heroes before on the Salamangreat players end, and I can tell you it sucks. I legit hated playing against heroes with salads when I played salad, because you literally don't have an out to the deck. You literally have to draw. You literally have to have a board of a double summoned monster with your one of trap that pops the monsters on the board, and you have to go first and control their board. That's legit the only way you can beat heroes with salads. But if they somehow sack a Dark Law, you're gonna have a bad time, because nothing in the deck beats over Dark Law. And 9 times out of 10, if you run into Dark Law, they're gonna have an Honesty Nails. I haven't met a hero player that did not have an Honesty Nails for your Dark Law. So that's just something to think about. And you guys already know my method of shuffling cards. I always do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 shuffle, because it's the best way to shuffle decks. Might add a time lapse once I go over this video and add the life points to it. I don't have, you guys are seeing this video obviously post edited with life points in it, but right now as I'm talking, I didn't edit the life points in just yet. Something I might fast forward a little bit through the hand shuffling, and or I might just go ahead and just leave it the way. I haven't decided yet. Also, the more I watch this video, the more I realize how sexy of a playmat that is. Shout out to the old channel sponsor MetaMats for hooking your boy up with that solid playmat. Been rocking this playmat for 2 years now. It's still one of my favorite mats today. It's so solid. So shout out to them. So Brandon took first, and he went ahead and used the can't think of that card name, don't quote me on it, but the Cyberse monster that when you link it off, you can just send a Cyberse monster from your hand to the graveyard to draw 2. And I'm debating on what I want to do, and I'm like, what do I want to do, Chris? What do I want to do? I'm sitting here debating. I know I'm for sure I have a Veiler in hand. I do see from the camera angle, I do see I have an Ash Blossom. You know, eventually when I do these duel videos, I want to do them 3 angles. One angle is the side view like I have now, and then other angles will be my opponent's view, and other angles will be my back view, so we can see the hands and go from there. But that's in the future. So I went ahead and Ash Blossom the Bailing, so I did not want him to draw the field spell so they can start doing the summon. But his hand was really good, as you guys can see. I should have probably saved that Ash Blossom for that searcher right there, but his hand was stacked. Like against Salamangreat, you really want to stop that Bailings a lot, and 9 times out of 10, once you stop Bailings, they're gonna have a hard time, guaranteed. Unless they have a good hand like Brandon had right here. But other than that, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah. So right now we're debating over a ruling that I did not know about, where it's like you can pitch one Salamangreat monsters to search for your, I can't think of his name right now, to search for that Salamangreat Gazelle right there. And he said once everything resolves, the Gazelle figures that the guy you sent to the graveyard was accurate, and you get to resolve your Gazelle. I was like, hold on, what? How does that don't even make sense? But apparently that was the ruling that he told me, so I went ahead and stuck to it. The ruling's a little different. Let me know in the comment section down below, but I'm pretty sure it was. Brandon's a legit player. He travels to more tournaments way more than I do, so. And plus, if it's not the legit rule, I'm pretty sure it was accidental. It wasn't like purposely done or whatever. But like, I'm pretty terrible with rulings, which is why I kind of question that. Plan like, hold on, that don't seem right, but whatever. Either way, he's going off right now, as you guys can see. Despite the fact that he didn't resolve to get the field spell, he's still doing some plays. I'm confident in what I can do at this moment, because I'm like, okay, as long as they don't set up some back row, as long as they don't set up that field spell, I'm gonna have a good time, because the only thing I'm really scared of is a double summon salad monster. So right now he's gonna link off, make the Wolfman, go ahead and add back one of his spell or trap Salamangreat cards. So I'm just waiting for him to do that right now. And he's sitting here thinking like, what should he do? He's gonna go ahead and link again for another Wolfman. So now he can start using his Salamangreat plays, which was pretty good because I'm like, okay, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna really get rid of his field to do that? And he legit did. And he went ahead and used Jaguar to cycle back to trigger his Wolfman again, to go ahead and add back another solid monster from his graveyard to his hand, which was being Gazelle, of course. Gazelle, that one not really mattering, solid card. And he went ahead and went Balinks. He couldn't use the effect, but he still had a solid monster on board. Set the triple back row, and I'm just sitting there like, wow, what does this guy has? And I'm like, yeah, he could pop 2 monsters guaranteed. He got back row. I'm sitting there like, well, whatever. Fusion Destiny. If he has an out, he has an out. You guys know my method already. I was just sitting there thinking like, this time it'd be a good time to have a Twin Twister. And he flipped the Imperial Order on my candy ass. And I'm just like, no, I wasn't ready. No. Imperial Order sucks when it gets flipped against a hero player. But I still got plays in hand that you guys are, I can kind of barely tell I got Forest in hand and etc. So I'm just like, what am I going to do? How am I know he got a guaranteed pop 2 monsters on board. How am I going to get through this back row? This back row is pretty epic. So I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to have to play my play out and hopefully get him in game 3 or whatever. I'm going to play Forest. Waiting for a response. He's reading Forest again, I guess, to see if he pops Forest. Can he stop my effects? And of course he lets it resolve because there's really no point at this point to stop Forest. I mean, if I can't, my effect resolves, it's gonna resolve. So now, what would have sucked right here if he would have just went ahead and flipped this trap, because I'd have been so angry. But I still have a normal summon left, so I'm like, maybe I can just do something. So I believe that's Vion. I'm gonna dump to the graveyard if I'm not mistaken. And I believe I jumped Shadow Mist to grab a Honesty Neos, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see, we're just waiting for the play. And I was sitting there thinking like, man, what should I do? This is a pretty hard, like, you know, cards like Imperial Order really suck. Like, and it's not because they're overpowered. You know, as I'm getting older playing this game, I'm like, you know what, Imperial Order, one-ofs like that, Regeki, they're not really, they're sack cards, but you know, for what it's worth, they make Yu-Gi-Oh really worth playing. They make Yu-Gi-Oh a fun game. Yeah, I hate getting sacked, and no one likes getting sacked, but they add the extra excitement of, ooh, I drew that one little card to help me out. So I decided to go ahead and send Mally, and that was simply due to the fact that I wanted to have an extra place. I figured at some point he was gonna try to break up my combos, and I figured, well, if I dump Mally, I still have some extenders to play with. So I'm sitting there thinking like, what should I do now? Looking at my extra deck, looking at my side, my side deck. Oh, so well, it'd be such a good time to have a super poly right now, but it don't matter because he flipped Imperial Order. There's a lot of stuff. I'm just like, man, what can I really do? He really had me in a pickle, so I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna go ahead and activate Mally. Good. I'm sorry, I didn't activate Mally yet. I used Vion's effect to banish for Poly because I figured I want to do something with Poly just in case, because I could always have a way. And that's one thing about when I play, I try to take my time and think out every play. It's just using when I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm so exhausted. I'm just like, hold on, what? I always tend to either overthink stuff or just get cocky with my plays because I get overconfident sometimes, which is a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing as well. So I'm sitting here waiting for him to respond. He just let me go through my combos. And just watching from this game, Brandon's the type of player that he really wants you to play something threatening before he responds, which is a good way to go about it. I personally think he probably should have just popped my Forest and waited to use increase effects, so that way I wouldn't all that stuff. I wouldn't be doing this right now, and I probably would have lost already. But like I said, it comes from inexperience of him playing against this deck and probably not knowing all the rulings. Because that was a ruling I didn't know about either. So I wanted to grab the Honesty Neos. I'm just waiting on him to respond, trying to see what he's gonna do. And he's playing it smart. Can't even argue, can't even get mad. He's really playing it smart, especially against a deck that you don't know what it does or you've never played against. You really don't want to just jump the gun and plop something like a Forest, because you don't know if it might be a bluff or not. That's something a lot of people got to think about as well. You can't really rush into things. Like your boy right here, I ain't gonna lie, I rush into things. I make a lot of bad plays, but I learn from him as well. So that's one thing I try to do and stay consistent. So I try to attack the Bailings. I'm like, screw it, it is what it is. And of course he's gonna use his Salamangreat trap to pop my my guy. So I'm just sitting there thinking like, well, what do I want to do? What do I gonna do? What can I do? And yeah, I'm like, I just let him get popped because there's not much I can do in this situation but just take the pop. So I'm just sitting there thinking like, what, dang, can I recover from this? And I do it. I'm like, okay, well, I can banish Mally and then play Poly and make a Adoration and pass. I mean, it's still a 2800 beater, which I believe I do, because I don't want to leave my field open and get OTK. Because you guys know Salamangreats can OTK you like crazy. So yeah, I believe that's what I do. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do my best play I can make and banish the Mally. Because I'm sitting there thinking like, if I banish the Mally, or if I don't banish the Mally, I'm not gonna have any other thing else better to do. So I decided to banish the Mally, and I'm just like, okay, well, at this point, sometimes it's like you just know you're gonna lose, so you just make those plays. Well, let me just make a big beater on the board. I'm probably not gonna be able to do anything, but it is what it is. Oh, okay, I didn't play the pause. So I remember what happened now. So I just banished Mally, put him in attack mode and pass. He looked at me like, okay. I mean, it was obvious, like, come on, catch these hands if you want it, but I think that was the only thing I could do. I'm like, well, I don't want to waste my Poly just yet. I think I was trying to save Poly for a potential Trinity play to try to OTK him, which more than likely wasn't gonna happen, which is why I just left Mally in attack mode and just passed. I'm like, you know what, screw it. Let me see if he's too tired or crazy enough to try to run over Mally, and he plays his can't think of the girl names in my life. He's Ladybug, to go ahead and search through his deck. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. You got it. What you finna do, Brandon? What you finna do? And search out Mr. Salamangreat Peacock to the hand. And I'm just like, yeah, this ain't looking good, but as long as I got me this fat Honestly Nielsen hand, I have nothing to worry about. So I'm sitting there like, well, I ain't scared. Then I realized, oh, he does have Wolf on the field. I probably should have scooped it up because we're like 21 minutes into the duel. But I mean, you know what? Whatever. He goes to Link again, which wasn't a bad play, I guess. I probably would have used Wolf's effect first. To another Wolf, and then, oh, I guess we can get his Gazelle effect, which allows him to just start spamming. What's really hurt me, though, real talking this duel, is that Imperial Order, because I can't top deck anything like a Super Poly, which sucks. And now that I think about the hindsight of 2020, me adding Poly to my hand didn't matter because I had Imperial Order on the board. But I still guess it's solid because I don't have to worry about getting OTK'd. I'm sorry, I don't have to worry about drawing Poly as a dead draw as opposed to not drawing it as a dead draw. So he starts doing his combo plays and I'm just like, yep, there's nothing your boy can do but sit up here and take it. And it's just like, I'm just looking at McGregor like, yep, come on, burn through that clock, come on, play these plays out. And I'm just like, yeah, I guess it's all over from here. Yeah, but Salamangreat so far it's a solid deck. I've learned to respect throughout this format. I'm still kind of scared, like how is it gonna shape up post the release of things like Nibiru and Dimensional Shifter. I think Dimensional Shifter obviously craps on the deck, but Nibiru is just gonna, I don't know. I think it can play around Nibiru, but can it play around it all the time? Like if I Nibiru him right now, I get a token, but it's not gonna be good enough. So yeah, he just decided to go ahead and link, bounce my Mally back, because he knew I had Honestly Nielsen hand, and that's when he just started to do a lot of the crazy plays. He bring his Fox dude back to pop his Pure Order, and that was like, wow, that play was so cool to me. I never realized that even playing that myself, as bad as common sense as it is, I never realized that Salads can auto out a Imperial Order. I'm just like, why Salad players don't just main deck that? Like, you can auto out it with Fox Boy and go from there. But I guess they decided they don't want to. So yeah, I'm just sitting there patient like, yeah, you don't have to OTK me, man. I'm literally one of those duelists that you literally gonna have to OTK into the last minute, and I'm just letting them play out his plays because I know when you don't go to locals that much and play against specific decks and the meta shift a lot, even though the meta shifted, you still want to let the deck play out, because even though if you know what the deck does, you may not know how the new play style of the deck is, having a limited resources of one Gazelle and things of that nature. So watching people play a lot of plays out to me is a good learning experience, and I think it should be a good learning experience for you guys as well. who like to you know, go to locals consistently and try to top and try to learn, because you can learn a lot just from watching the same decks that got modified from format playing against over and over and over instead of just scooping. I think people scoop personally way too much when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh. Way too much. Like I clearly was gonna lose this game, but you definitely want to let your opponent play their hands out, especially in today's era where time is a thing. Honestly, even though I hate losing in time, everyone's going to use the time to clock to their advantage, myself included. And it's not purposely, but if my opponent's taking 5 to 6 minute turns and I know I can burn them for some light point damage and they lose in time, whose fault is that? Like, we both have to keep mindful of the clock. So it's just like little things like that. You gotta, instead of fighting the rules and being mad about it, you just gotta deal with it and accept Yu-Gi-Oh for what it is and how it's played now. And I know I'm just kind of rambling and not really giving real commentary on the match, but this match is obviously not really too much to go into. Like, I know he has a trap card face down. He brought a Abyss Dweller on me. Like, he did legit a lot of stuff that I can't stop. I'm just thinking, like, can I even out his field, bro? Not realizing he can just pop my guy again. But I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna bring up the Adoration. He's gonna have to, like, just beat me, like, straight up. I don't want to just lose and not try. You feel me? So I believe at this point I just go ahead and try to attack the Yugioh because I don't have a way to stop it. And of course he's just gonna use his trap. And you know, sometimes when you don't give up right away, it completely psychs the opponent out because they really legit. I've played against people who legit feel like, well, if you're not scooping, you must got something, and they play so bad. They play so bad. So yeah, he had an out to Yugioh. Sorry, Adoration. But I had actually a response. So I had a match change, which I was saving, and I was gonna try to F him up from there. But he ended up having a Salamangreat negate card, which is solid. So, you know, watching this again, I'm like, yeah, I did have a match change in hand that I was holding the entire time. I'm like, yeah, bro, come on, take this bait, take this bait. So yeah, that was a solid game. Actually, that game 2 was really solid. We both played really well, played our asses off. Now game 3 is actually pretty fast. Since I lost, I believe I decided to go first because I do know as long as I can make Dark Log and Salads, I'm solid. So I decided to go first. I don't believe my hand was that great, but I did have mass change, which is good. And I believe Brandon looked at his hand and he said, fuck it, because his hand was kind of bad. In all honesty, he did not like his hand at all. Like, his game 1 hand was bad and his game 3 hand was bad. So I got lucky with that for sure. But like I said, heroes naturally have a good Salamangreat matchup. And if you see his hand gestures right now, he's literally telling one of his buddies on how bad his hand is right now, which sucks. But I feel you, Brandon. I feel you. Bad hands are just bad hands. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play this out. And so I went ahead and played my Earth Hero for that guy. Bring a Cross Crusader effect. So I'm a Destiny Hero back. Tribute Destiny Hero to search out a forest. And I had to read Cross Crusader too, because I'm like, hold on, does Cross Crusader lock me into doing anything special? Because I legit, like, Brandon's a cool dude. I legit don't like to cheat people mistakenly when I'm playing in local, especially people who I'm cool with. So he went ahead and dropped a Lancia, which I don't know why, because it legit doesn't do anything against heroes unless I already get Dark Law on board, which I guess is smart to side against me, but going first, it doesn't do nothing against me. So I think that was a bad play on his part just to drop Lancia. So I'm just at this point just going to my combos, making my increase, and he told me pretty much to do what I gotta do. Playing Vion. You guys already know the combos, so my goal was just to do a lot of things going first. And I believe he might have had a hand trap to Shadow Mist, if I'm not mistaken. No, I think no, he let it resolve. So I went ahead and grabbed Honest Neos. And I didn't really care about using Shadow Mist effect either, because for one, I already wasted my Solid Soldier, so I couldn't do any other extra plays. And for 2, I already had a mass change in hand, so I'm like, I'm solid, bro. Like, the more I play this deck, I'm like, the hero deck is just so consistent now, G. It's ridiculous. So I went ahead and decided to go ahead and link. and 2. No, yeah, I linked to the new hero level 3 guy. He's the one that tramples. Not level 3, but yeah, rank 3, what level 3, whatever. And I set the match change and pass because I don't really have anything else. So I figured I'd just have a big beater with Darklaw on board, and he went ahead and played Foxy. And I changed match change to make Darklaw. And I'm like, if he don't have out to this, he pretty much lost because Darklaw is just epic against his deck. And I believe he reveals 3 and just scoops because he realizes that his legit, like the Salamangreat deck is literally cripples to Darklaw. They can't do nothing against Darklaw. And also my guy gets boosted. My Darklaw gets boosted because of the fusion as well, because it pumps up, I believe, all heroes on the board, even the ones that it points to. So by X amount of heroes in your graveyard, which is something I gotta continuously remember. I legit forgot it during this game, and I went ahead and used my Darklaw effect and actually banished the field spell. Pro tip: when you're using your Darklaw effect, always go for the middle card. For whatever reason, people naturally love to pick cards in the middle of their hand. So he's just reading through his hand to see what kind of plays he can make. And I believe he's just realizing at this point it's over. There's not really much he can do. Like, in all honesty, I was like, yeah, what can you do, sir? But I believe at this point he just gives up because he knew he couldn't do anything as heroes. Like, my field was just too solid. All his effects resolve off being in the graveyard. So, with all that being said, like the video if you're new here, subscribe for more. This is Rogue Hero, and I'm signing out. Peace.